our way to the iconic Friday house.
This might be the funnest episode that we gonna have. You know what I'm saying?
You know the house used to be pink when they did the movie.
That is true.
But they had to keep it Dodger blue.
Yeah, I ain't mad at him. Yes, sir.
We on our way in now. It's all about the Friday. Byron Scott's fast break. Three-wheel motion time. Three-wheel motion time. Let's go.
Turn it, baby. Yeah, that's what we do. Yes, sir.
There it is, the iconic home. It's all about Friday.
All about Friday.
Friday. Yo, Byron, you came in three-wheel motion.
Man, you know I know how to swing that thing, man. Paula, shoot, you know I know how to drive that. I hit the switches on there, Jay. You see me flopping it up and down?
Yes, I did. I was in there riding with you.
Man, that's what I do. That's what I do. But I'm gonna tell you something.
Hey,
that was fun. I love that.
If you haven't noticed, we're on location. My name is Kid Jay, Coach Byron Scott.
Yes, sir.
This is Byron Scott's Fast Break. Why don't you tell everybody where we at?
Man, we at a spot where y'all will recognize if you want to go back and watch it one day. But let me just break it down for you.
Okay.
Listen here. Look, the house is blue right now. It used to be pink, and this was 30 years ago. And it was this great film called Friday.
Friday, baby.
Starring Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, as they were sitting on the porch just like me and Kid Jay are doing right now. And we got some people that might stop by that can kind of talk a little bit about that 30 years ago and how it went. This is our 30-year reunion. So we want to pay homage to this show and how great it was. I mean, one of the best films you'll ever see.
And if you haven't noticed, I'm dressed like Craig. He's dressed like Smokey. Smokey! Hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever been fired on your day off?
Well, kind of like Smokey, yes. A couple of times, as a matter of fact. Didn't even bring me in the office. Didn't just call me and said, you done, basically. I mean, but that happens. That's how it is. Life is like that. But yeah, I've been fired a couple of times. What about you?
Yeah, I've been fired on my day off as well. But yeah, hey, it's all good. But I got something, a way you can make money if you've been fired on your day off.
Oh, really?
PrizePick.com.
That's a good way to do it, too.
Our partners over there at PrizePick. Head on over to the app, or you can go onto the computer, PrizePick.com, and use the code BScott. If you use that code, make a $5 lineup, and you get $50.
It's that simple.
Super simple.
So, guys, you got to listen. Just go on PrizePick. B Scott's the code you got to use. $5 lineup. You got a chance to win $50. It's that simple. So just listen to my boy Kid Jay, because, again, if you like Smokey broke and you need some money, that might be the way to get it.
It's Friday, baby. Let's have a good time.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we back on the set. It is Friday. Kid Jay, Byron Scott, and one of the actresses
the one
from
and only.
The movie.
The one and only.
Her name is Kathleen Bradley, but we call her Miss Parker.
Hi,
How you doing, Miss Parker?
I'm good, sweetie. Thank you.
So I'll start it like this. You want us to call you Miss Parker because you got the Miss Parker shirt on, so we got to stay true to Miss Parker.
Well.
I am so pleased that I am being called Miss Parker. People ask me that all the time. They say, "Do you mind if I call you Miss Parker?" No, I do not mind. I'm blessed. It's such a pleasure to be here today. I want to thank you for inviting me. I've been down this street one other time, I think, since we filmed that 30 years ago, and not too long ago, and had the opportunity to meet the people who live in the house, Miss Parker house. And it seems like everything was so much bigger then. As a kid, when you're being brought up and growing up in your house, in your neighborhood, everything seems so big. And then when I come back, I'm like, damn, that house was smaller than I thought. Oh my God. But it's just a wonderful feeling to be back here. And thank you for having me.
That's awesome. Well, you made a lot of people excited about your role.
Oh, excited, period. A lot of young kids, and teenagers, and a lot of people, mama say, girl, we had to change them sheets a lot of times. Them sheets, boy, I tell you, they grew up on Miss Parker.
So we
literally.
So we're going to talk about your audition. So when you auditioned for the role, what was that like? And when you got it?
Well, actually, I was on The Price is Right at that time.
Okay.
And I was the first African-American
Yes,
model on the show
yes,
for 10
yeah,
years.
yes.
Yeah, from 1990 to 2000. And actually, Ice Cube wanted me to audition for the part, actually wanted me really for the part. And he told the casting people, he said, I want that black lady on The Price is Right. I had a name, Kathleen, but people always say the black lady. Are you that black lady on The Price is Right? I'm like, okay, I'll be that black lady on The Price is Right. Okay. And so he did, and he got a hold of my agency, and I went in and I read. Of course, they, told me about what they wanted the character to look like, and obviously I delivered, and everybody was happy that I did land the role. The first time I met Chris Tucker and Cube, we all read together with Gary, the director. And Chris, he's a great improvisational person. He is wonderful at it, needless to say. So he was trying to say something about Miss Parker. Yeah, Miss Parker. Oh, Miss Parker is shit. He was like, I'm like, taken aback. I'm like, oh my God. I didn't know that's what my character was really all about. Is that what they're talking about? Miss Parker thought, oh, okay. But come to find out, she was a hoe. I didn't want him to say that.
Yeah,
I took it.
She said it.
Yeah, just her. I didn't say that.
I took it personal.
Right,
I took it personal. So anyway, as it was, we worked out the dialogue pretty much and what was going to happen, what was said and done. So it was just a pleasure just meeting with them and talking to them. At that point, nobody ever fathomed that we would be at this point in time in life, a 30-year reunion anniversary, and this being the cult classic that it is today. So many wonderful actors came out of being in this ensemble when we did it, and it just was done in such a way and a short period of time. It set a great precedence for movies to come, and movies and people and directors and actors trying to emulate. And I'm telling you, I'm just proud and pleased to be a part of this history.
Love it.
So tell me, Kathleen, since we go way back anyway, but tell me, the first day on the set, how was that? Because again, I know you had came from The Price is Right, which I was really happy and proud because I was like, oh, a lady of color on The Price is Right?
Yeah.
Messing with Bob Barker?
Yeah.
I was like, this is off the chain. So when you got that first, you got the interview and everything, you went on, the first day on the set, how was that?
It was cool. It was good, because, the basic most well-known person, obviously, on the set was Ice Cube.
Yeah.
And I didn't get an opportunity to meet everybody. I didn't work with everybody, obviously, because of the different scenes.
Yeah.
I didn't, unfortunately, get to work directly with Deebo or John Witherspoon and a couple other, Regina. I think Regina King was here the day I worked, and I did get a chance to meet her, as well as Anne Marie Horsford, which I love her to this day. We're still great friends. But it was just nice. It was calm. It made everybody felt so at ease and comfortable. And we just knew we were on a mission to have a good time. And the thing about it was, with F. Gary Gray as the director, he gave us a lot of freedom to do and act and say what we wanted to improv, which is absolutely one of the most incredible things that made this whole film work, because it felt so natural and everybody contributed to a great deal. But I worked actually 2 or 3 days, I can't remember, at least 2 maybe, but the first day, of course, was with Hi, Miss Park and the famous water in the hose and everything. He just said, hey, just water the hose, make it sensuous, do what you want to do. And I did what I want to do.
Yes,
and
you
just,
did.
honey.
Yes, you did.
Just make it sensual.
Yeah,
I
yes,
did,
did.
I don't know what came over me. It was really not a stretch, I tell you. That's me. They got me pegged all the way. Not all the way. But anyway, it was a fun thing to do. And meeting everybody for the first time for that particular scene, I think we worked that day. And then Bernie Mac, obviously, that particular day, that's when I met Bernie. And of course, my husband, Tony Cox, the with the dwarf. And he was a sweetheart to this day. He and I are still very good friends.
That's awesome.
And we talk a lot and we play cards. And it was just that first day was so great. And with Bernie Mac coming over and having him. And, in the room, we would go into the house because you'd say, Miss Parker, Miss Parker.
Yeah.
Lord, I see what I want, Miss Parker, Miss Parker. And come into the house. And when we had a cut and stop, we had spent some time inside the house and talking. And I really got an opportunity to learn to know Bernie
What you
Mac.
guys talk about behind scenes?
We just talk about life, life in general.
Yeah,
on the
what y'all
radio,
talk about?
about our families and different things. And I was into a lot of health things and products and things at that time, which he liked to learn more about. And that was it. It wasn't a lot of time spent,
Yeah.
but just enough time for us to be able to communicate and exchange numbers about some health things and issues and what have you. And we talk periodically after that, but just doing that, and of course, like I said, with my husband Tony Cox, we spend a little time together because most of the scenes, if you notice, I'm by myself.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get a chance to interact with everybody. And then, of course, the next day coming back with Anna Marie Horsford, with Craig's mama,
Yeah.
who I love dearly. To this day, we're still dear friends. I just saw her not too long ago. And just, doing that scene, hey, girl, call me when you get home. Okay. It's like, what the fuck am I going to call you for? Can I say fuck on the show?
Yes, you
Anyway,
can.
okay,
Yes, you can.
and
you
that-
fine.
there's so many wonderful
One-liners.
one-liners from this whole movie that people talk about. And
We gonna talk about those one-liners in a second.
I know. I'll get.
I want to go back to you said the set was fun, and you had Bernie Mac, comedian, on part of your scene. Who was the biggest jokester on set? I know you were on set for 2 or 3 days. Who kept all the energy alive behind the scenes?
I would have to say absolutely Chris Tucker.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Chris was just so full of energy, that young guy, that comedian, his first break, and he was just unequivocally phenomenal. He is the F in Friday, okay? He is the fun person.
F in Friday,
Yeah, he's
okay.
the F in
All right.
Friday. I mean, without him, we would have made the movie and could have made it, but all of the elements worked together with all of the characters. But of course, Chris Tucker, he was very fun, and he was just animated. He was very excited. That youthfulness, that just, the improvisation is so important. And when F. Gary Gray allowed us to have that freedom to do that, it made a difference. Like, you're not stuck on a line. You got to go over. You missed that cue. What's the line? What's the line? Forget the freaking line. You make up the whole essence of the being of what the character is and deliver the message the way that character would deliver it.
Yeah.
Because
Y'all
you
be
have
yourselves.
writers
Yeah.
and directors and producers, and sometimes the writers don't always get it right.
Yeah.
But you want to keep within the continuity of what they're trying to convey.
Yeah.
And when a special actor and person does that and still delivers without using all the wording that you have written down, it's still very special.
Yeah, kind of what Kid J just asked you, but I want you to go back to just remembering your whole time on the set, okay? And there has to be one scene that you look back and say, "Oh, that scene was off the chain," that you'll never forget. Is there one?
What scene that I was in? Or
Yes.
Just, but of course, when I was watering the lawn,
Of course.
well, there was no lawn. When I was watering the dirt.
He's water in the dirt.
And you know what? Actually, when I think back, when I went I didn't go actually for a fitting. Usually you have a fitting before the day or two before you go to the set, but they fitted me the day on the set. And when she put that little tiny little top on me and half my breasts was showing, I was like, I'm like, oh my God. I thought it really was a bit much for me. I'm out there a
Did
little
you
bit.
embrace it though?
I had to after a while. They said, that's it. God damn it, that's it. You're going to wear
It
this.
looks like you embraced it. I mean,
That's
you
it.
had me feeling like,
They
oh, shit,
embraced
yeah.
me. And then with the little shorts and stuff, I'm like, damn, what did I sign up for? And then when I knew it, I said, hey, they said, just go for it. Make it as sensual and sexy as you can. And with the water hose and I didn't have the music then. I just had a vision in my head, my mind, how I was going to entice these young men and bend over, just the right angle and with everything and all the sweat rolling
did it.
down
Yeah,
and
you did it.
everything.
She did it.
Yeah, very well.
And all that.
Remember now, I was only 34 years old. I was like, "Who is Parker?"
Oh, Miss Parker, Miss Parker.
All right, Miss Parker, can you tell us, is there any behind the scene moments that nobody knows about about the movie?
You know, it happened so quickly.
Yeah.
We had to shoot in like, what was it, 28 days or something, which was a record time. Oh, yeah, it wasn't even 30. It was like 28, 25 days. That's all we had to shoot because of the budget. So it wasn't like everybody was lollygagging, spending a lot of time together.
Gotcha.
And if you got 1 or 2 takes, you were lucky. Absolutely, probably for the most part, nobody was doing 2 or 3 more takes, which that's just the way everybody rolled like a professional and, got in their character and did a few rehearsals, and that was it. But there was nothing in particular backstage, the back of the scenes that I remembered. But after we saw the whole film, and a lot of the people we didn't know or recognize that were in it, especially like me and my girl now, Felicia, Angela Means. I never met her, because I didn't do a scene with her. Like I said, I didn't work with Deebo. I didn't work with DJ Poole. I didn't work with my buddy Ronaldo Ray. All these people that were in it. You just do your scene and that's it, unfortunately. But when we had the screening, we had the opportunity to meet with each other and talk about it and just see how wonderful it was. And the whole thing about it was the kind of film that was laugh out loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't have to force yourself to laugh. You would laugh uncontrollably.
Yeah.
So that in itself makes this film so special because it is freaking all out funny. I can still watch it to this day, and I've seen it many times and laugh and laugh and laugh, or say that, oh, wow, I missed this scene or didn't recognize this scene. But it is legitimately one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. No, I don't think you'll get anybody disagreeing with you on that. Now, you're talking about 30 years ago, this film came out, the cultural impact it has had. How do you feel about that? Because, it's been big, especially in, obviously, the African-American community. How do you feel about that, being a part of it as well?
Like I said, when I see people see me, they say, Miss Parker, they're like, oh, is it okay to call you Miss Parker? I'm like, yeah, please do. I want you to call me Miss Parker. And the fact that all the cultures over 30 years, like take for instance, my grandson, he's 17. Okay, he's got Down syndrome. He's a sweetheart, okay? And actually, his mom and dad are not together, and they're co-parenting, which is fine. Whenever I take King Yari over to see his dad, they say, oh, they would just like go crazy. Miss Parker in the flesh right here and everything. And that's King's grandmother and everything. And after a while, King didn't really realize what was going on, especially he's having, Down syndrome and whatever it's like going over his head. But after a while, just recently, in the last year or two, he's been watching the trailer of Miss Parker. And he's been watching them. I think he's seen the movie and everything. He's watched it. And right now, he said, hey, Miss Parker. I said, boy, don't you call me Miss Parker. I said, I'm your grandmother, G-Ma. Hey, Miss Parker. And he chuckles and everything. And I've seen him look at the video a little bit, not the video so much, but the trailer. But I'm so grateful that they do have a clean version of the film, which is very important because, in essence, the film just starts out as it does in fun and jest with them dealing with drugs and weed and this and that. And it's a fun ride. But at the end of the day, it has a great message to it of brotherhood. Now, we can fight like this, or you can pull a gun out. Craig, you're not going to pull that gun out. You're not taking the gun to the party right now. You're not taking the gun. You're going to do this like John Witherspoon said, we'll put our fist up. We would
win some, you're going to lose some.
We're going to win some, going to lose some.
But you need to fight another day.
There you go. Hey, that's right. So that in itself is a great message for everybody to know it. And I know my girl, Angela, she's going to come and talk about Felicia and, the things.
We're going to talk about that.
Of course, and the things that she went through with Deebo.
Right.
Because every scene and every character and every setting has a message to it. But I guess mine was, Miss Parker, don't fuck around because your husband going to put your ass out.
You threw all your shit in the line.
Honey, we're just praying.
He's throwing all your shit in the line.
We're just praying.
Ezell wearing it.
Did you say y'all was praying or playing?
We
Which
was
one was it? Or both of them?
praying, because he was a minister.
Praying.
That was actually.
Well, why is y'all praying, but he come out with,
Yeah.
what, did he have his pants
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, he came out in his drawers.
Okay, that's some,
He came out in his drawers.
That's some hell of a praying.
Now, Byron,
I'm just
now
saying,
you're too
I'm just-
old not to have
You
me
know,
have you
I'm
have to
just
figure
saying.
that shit
I'm
out.
just
She
going
said
back
it.
to what I
Yeah,
saw.
she said it earlier.
We was on our knees.
Yeah. She said it earlier.
We was
Miss Parker
praying.
was a
Oh, that's what she said.
She a
You
hoe.
know.
Miss Parker, she
Miss
know what she
Parker.
doing over
She
there
knew
with
what
them
she
little
was doing.
shorts on and everything. She know what she doing.
All right, so 30 years later, how has this movie impacted your career, your life?
Oh, wow. You know, all along, as it has grown into such a phenomena, and even though, and right now we're on this street right here where it all
Yeah,
began,
yep.
there's buses that come down here, people, busloads of people, TMZ,
Yeah.
the Hollywood, the ghetto bus, this bus. People come to here. This is a Hollywood phenomenon. It's like if you go up to Hollywood and the Walk of Fame and see
Yeah.
all the stars on, people want to come here. They want to see this. That's how important it is. But for me, it has led to other opportunities within the industry and people knowing me and speaking engagements. And, you know, after I got off The Price is Right, the movie, I did it, I think this was in 1995.
Yeah.
I stayed on the show until 2000. And after a period, it just kind of helped catapult my career to another level, and it gave me some other opportunities. And, you know, for that, I will be always grateful.
Did Miss Parker, did it open up more doors for you, or were you typecast as Miss Parker?
You know, not so much typecast, but I have a semi. And people did recognize me as, you know, the sexy next door neighbor and doing this and that and the other one. And some of the roles that I did get were kind of like, oh, you could play that Parker. You as Miss Parker. We know you sexy. We know you look good. But to a degree.
Yeah.
To a degree. And then I did a few other things that were kind of far removed from that as a mother and serious person and what have you. So, but, you know, by and large, it did kind of.
What's up next for Miss Parker? I mean, Miss Parker got any things that she's working on right now that she want to do, or does she want to kind of tell the folks? I know you got some work that you do as far as charity events and things of that nature as well.
Well, okay, let's start with the charity and work backwards. I'm with an organization called the Jonathan Foundation, and we are the organization that help children who have special needs and slow development to get a good education in our broken school system. We're advocates, and we also have psychoeducational therapy and assessments that we can get for these kids. So we raise money for that, and that's the JonathanFoundation.org that I'm involved in. We're having our gala come up on May 17th at the Sheraton Universal. But also I've been just doing a lot of different events and for, you know, motivational speaking. I do like to do that in particular because a lot of the young ladies that try to emulate me, which is fine. You can go on now and look at all the people trying to emulate Miss Parker. So many of them. I am very flattered behind that. I really want to have a contest and do something of that nature. But even for the young...
I want to be a judge.
But for the young
Let me know
people,
when you do. I want to be a judge.
okay, you be a judge. But for the young kids and people, high schoolers that I've spoken to and I've had the opportunity to go out to do, it gives me great pleasure because I want to let at least the young ladies know in particular, you know, they have more self-esteem about themselves and not fall prey to the men, the boys that try to take them in a whole nother direction and different things that are happening or take advantage of them and feel like they just have to give in to this guy or this person. And their self-worth is so much more. And, you know, by doing this and being involved with certain organizations and different things, it's given me great pleasure to do that. And also, you know, I've written a book called Backstage at The Price is Right.
Okay.
Memoirs of a Barker
Behind the
Beauty.
scenes.
Yeah, my 10
Okay.
years on The Price is Right. And it's a tell-all. It's not a Bob Barker bashing book, but it is very interesting and very good to read and learn about some things that have happened, racism, sexism, all of that kind of things that happen behind the scene when you're doing TV shows and what have you. So, you know, a lot of good things have happened. I got a wonderful family, my husband, my grandson, my daughter's sons and nephews here. I got a great manager, Ro Brooks Management. He's been really very helpful and instrumental with me. And doing a lot of good things, a talk show, music and medicine. I have we have our own podcast. So there's so much happening and going on for me. And I just partnered with this new company called Vibe, VYB. Vibe is an eco opportunity system where people come together and you're able to learn a lot of different things about crypto, about business, about branding and all of that stuff. So hopefully you'll have our Instagram IA's Instagrams on the end of this so people can go in and look at my bio and see what I'm doing and, like me, love me.
Yeah.
Okay, all that.
All right, Miss Parker.
I'm worth it.
I want to read the book because you know what, being the first African American woman on The Price is Right in the 90s.
Yeah.
I want to read that book.
That was
When she said that, it just got me thinking, what if we did a behind the scenes book on
what kind
the
of
Lakers?
behind the scenes? What y'all gonna do?
Oh, we can't do that.
Don't do that. I've been done Byron.
We can't do a behind the book tell-all scene about the Lakers in the 80s and that. No,
I know. I was
we
there.
ain't
He
doing
knows
that.
I was there in the 80s.
We ain't doing that. Y'all can forget
I ain't
that
gonna
shit.
tell.
That ain't happening. So we can move on because we ain't doing that.
All right, Miss Parker. So we gonna do rapid fire, okay? 5 questions. I'll ask one. Byron asks one. Short answers, okay?
All right, let me get my question. Hold on.
I'll start it
What are my
off.
questions? All right.
Who broke character and laughed the most on set?
Ice Cube.
Ooh, okay.
When I was doing it.
If you could redo one scene today, same role, same line, which one would you pick?
Or if I could redo it?
Yeah.
Well, I would do High Boys a little differently. I did.
Okay,
High
so what-
Boy.
How would you do it?
You know what? Because when I do it, I say, "Hi, boys." What I would do now differently, I would do more like, "Hi, boys." I would make it a little more sensuous.
Yeah, a little
it was
more
just
sexy,
too much
huh?
like, "Hi, boys." Like, it was too
you
clean.
already
I
had
would
them
make
wrapped around your damn
I know,
finger
but
in the
I
first
would've
place,
made-
but you
I would've
really would have had
drawn
them going
that
crazy.
Hi, boys.
Hey, look.
That's what I would
Chris
have
would have
changed.
sitting up here like this. let me fold my
I
legs.
would have changed that line a little bit.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so who do you wish had more scenes in the movie?
Me,
you go.
goddamn it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew that was
I
coming.
did too. I was like, okay, that's an easy one.
Okay, one more. So 30 years later, if you were still in character, what would you be doing now?
I would be raising a child, and
Who's?
I brought. Look, listen. Here, that's listen. Funny you should
Who, the
ask.
Reverend or your husband? Which
Listen,
one?
funny you should ask because I told Cube last time I saw him, which I did Ice Cube's music video, Ego, and last year in July. I'm in his music video, Ego, and I hadn't seen him in a while. And so I told him, I said, if you're going to do the movie, what have you, just have me and my husband, Mr. Parker, back together again in the neighborhood. And we're going to say, hey, I want you to meet our son. Come meet our son. And he's the spitting image of Bernie Mac. Little dark-skinned boy, big old poppy eyes. And I said, this is his son. This is our baby. So we would have had a family. I'm sure I would have had at least a couple of children and just living in the neighborhood and taking care of my lawn and making sure it was more manicured. But he took me back. I would just kind of have settled down a little bit. She might be a little boring, but I'm sure probably after a certain period of time, she probably would have went back to her old ways because I don't think Mr. Parker just wasn't hitting that right. She need to knock the dust off that pussy. Okay.
Mr. Parker, you heard it here. You might want to come on the show to, defend yourself.
I think when she got in
You
her
said
golden
you wasn't
years.
hitting it right. I'm just saying.
I think when she got in her golden years, her libido got a little more height.
A little bit more height.
And he just wasn't hitting that right. So,
Okay. All right. Well,
There was
Mr.
always
Parker,
new
you got
neighbors
you
to
got
do.
you got a invitation to come on the show because you might want to.
He need to.
Come on, man. You got to defend your manhood,
We're
dog. Come on.
gonna
I'm just
get
saying.
Tony back.
I'm just saying.
All right, Kathleen, we're going to get you out of here on this. Tell us all the one-liners you remember from the movie. Famous one-liners.
We got a bunch of them too.
We're going to
So
count.
we gonna see
We're going
if
to
you
count
hit
how many you got.
We're going to see how many you hit.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Parker.
Yeah.
Hi, boys. Call me when you get home. Okay, girl. My
Okay.
neck, my back, my neck, and my back.
Okay.
Oh my God, there's so many, and I'm stuck on this right now. So you tell me, Byron, you got the page. Come on.
We're gonna ruin it for everybody else.
You go. No,
I know,
we can't ruin
I know, but
it.
what about
I'ma give you-
everybody? Don't come in this bathroom 45
Yeah, there
minutes
you go.
now.
There you
Don't
go.
come back in this bathroom. There's so
35,
many.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Go
I already
ahead.
said one. I was like, you win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day.
Yeah. Tell me something, Byron. You have it.
Oh, I do. Well, you know the other famous one by Ice Cube, by Felicia.
Yeah, bye, Felicia. Oh
Yeah,
my
that
God,
was a
absolutely.
famous
How can
one.
I forget that one? Oh my
Give
God.
her another one, Kid J.
You got knocked the fuck out. Oh, there's a ton of them.
Let me see.
She wasn't on set every day, so we're gonna give her
But
a pass.
I know it from the movies, you
That's
know.
true.
And,
That's true.
and even when I see people and watch other movies and different TV shows and somebody gets hit and knocked down, we always say, you got knocked the fuck out.
That's right. And then the last one I'm gonna give you is Chris Tucker's famous one. And you know this, man.
All right,
Welcome, Miss
what's
Walker.
next for Kathleen?
Oh, what's next? You know, I actually did a few commercials that are going to be out like now, and you can see them. I heard that's on TV now, which is one for Amazon. I just did something for Gundry, who's the doctor for a health product, and I'm going to be doing a Hyundai commercial.
Okay.
A lot of commercials are out. There's some films in the making. Some films I did. House Divided. I did that a couple years ago with Hawthorne James and a couple other different people. And I did something about Mother with Jane Kennedy and Lawrence Hilton Jacobs and Dawn Lewis, directed by Melina Gay. So I've been very active in doing a lot of
You've
good
been busy.
things,
love
just
that.
traveling and doing some special appearances and what have you.
Playing
I'm getting ready
little
to redo my book. I'm going to reinvent my book again because it didn't really get a fair shake. It came out in 2014 backstage at The Price is Right. And I didn't really get the people I had doing the promotions and everything for me didn't do a good job. And it kind of went to the wayside. I did do self-publishing, which is fine. And I encourage everybody out there, if nothing else, write your story, write a book. Sit down. Don't think that anything you have in your life is not important because you're here and you're important. The least little thing you think is important that might be able to even help somebody else. And writing is so therapeutic. It will help you if you've to overcome a lot of grief and anxiety you might have in your life that you want to just sit down and write about it. If you never publish it, sit down and write about it. You don't have to even sit down and type or write down. You can talk to AI and talk to your computer, talk to your phone, and say what you're thinking and put it down. It will all come together very soon.
I love that.
Leave your legacy.
And like you said, everybody has a story. You know, everybody has a story. So don't think because you're not a celebrity or an athlete or something. Everybody has a story.
Absolutely.
Hey, guys, we want to thank Kathleen Bradley for coming here, a.k.a.
Miss
Parker. Thank you so much, baby. We
You
love
look
you.
amazing 30 years later.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yo, Kathleen Bradley, what an amazing interview, Miss Parker.
Man, I love Miss Parker. 30 years later, she still look good, don't she?
Man, she
I just
looks
love Miss
amazing.
Miss Parker.
Miss Parker.
I love Miss Parker.
Oh,
man.
shit,
God.
man.
What?
Here come Trey.
No,
Hide
I
your
don't
shit,
give a
man.
damn
Hide your
about
shit.
No Trey. I'm from Inglewood. Shit. Talking about. What's up, Trey?
What's up, fool?
What up, Trey?
How you
So
doing,
I got
dog?
going.
It's Friday.
We just chilling, dog. What's up with you? What? Trey, that's my chain.
I'm not saying no.
Damn, you just got jacked.
That's all right. I was expecting that. I got another one right here. Hold on. Yeah, Trey think he all that. Trey ain't shit. Now, I'm good.
Let's go ahead and move on with this
Yeah, this is a big and better one now.
Friday podcast.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Unbelievable. 30 years, and we just had Kathleen Bradley on, a.k.a. Miss Parker.
Miss Parker,
And we got another beautiful woman coming on right now, Angela Means, a.k.a.
Felicia.
is in the house. How you doing,
How you
girl?
doing?
Good to see you. I got to put my slogan in my mouth because I got to give you that clap. It's good to have you on the set.
Oh, God, I received that. Thank you so much. Thank
Now,
you.
I'm going to just ask you this right off the bat. Do you remember the first audition that you had for Friday?
I do remember it.
Tell
I
us
do
about
remember it. I mean, I went in, I was ready because I was ready to do something different than the typical pretty girl or in the kitchen baking cookies. I wanted to get my hands dirty. I was a all-star Def Jam comic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
I wanted to be involved. So when it came down, it came from my agent, and I read the size. I was like, hell no, y'all gonna let me do this? So I went in. I mean, from the moment I got them sides to the moment I went in, I was Felicia. From the moment I read it. But then I got called back in. Me and the casting director, we just went. Like, she just let me have fun in the room, and I did. I just had so much fun in that first audition. So she called me back to meet Gary. And Gary, golly, Gary Gray is like, he's so amazing.
Yeah.
He's one of those people that the minute you meet him, you see his aura, and he's so professional, and he was like, you just knew he was something special, and you wanted to work with him. And from the moment I walked in, he was kind of smiley, blushy kind of person, and just said, okay, let's. He asked me a couple questions and, fun stuff about being a stand-up and where I was from. And, we got cool. I was comfortable. He got me comfortable. And then we did it. We did it. Me and the casting director did it. And so I left the room, and I left that room like, oof.
You felt it? You knew you had it.
I knew I had it. When I left that room, I knew I was Felicia.
You killed it like that.
I killed it like that. So about a week later, I'm walking my dog, and it pops in my head, that Q project. I ain't heard nothing, because that's my job. I haven't heard anything. So I called my agent. I got home, I called my managers. And I said, hey, by the way, we're talking about stuff. I said, by the way, what about that Q project? And they was like, oh, yeah, you got that, but we passed.
What? Wait a minute, they passed without telling you?
They passed without telling me.
Are you kidding me?
And I said, you know what?
What was the reason why they passed?
Because we don't see you in roles like that, where you're leading lady. I'm like, girl, I'm 6 feet tall. I ain't gonna be doing this forever. I wanna have a baby. I wanna do some other things. Please get that back. Because it was on my list of things to do in this business.
Yeah.
I did the lead in House Party 3. I wanted a series. I was a model. I did global commercials. I did everything. I'm the kind of person, once I do it, I've conquered it. And then I want to go on. I'm so multifaceted. I'm so multi-talented. It's just so many things. I mean, I've had a vegan restaurant for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was a mom. I was a football mom for 17 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was a consummate football mom. I mean, I had gum in my pack. I was like, knock on woody. I would go down the thing. Everybody got their cup. I mean, I was for real. Everybody's homework done. That was the football mom. That was everything I do. I remember one of my cousins telling me, we was 12 years old. He was like, everything you do it so good.
Yeah.
I was like, I do. I get before God, I'm going to tell him I ain't got no more talents left. I used them all. I was like, y'all get that job back. I want that script on my porch tomorrow. And I got a call from the big guy, and he was like, Angela, just listen to me. We got a plan. I was like, but what about my plan?
Right.
My plan.
Yeah.
So
You
they
work
got
for me,
it.
first of all.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
Let's
Yeah, don't get it
so
twisted.
don't. But because I really am an actor, and I was studying so hard, I wanted a character that I could method. I could do the method, and I could work my craft, and I could really, really work. So I did her. When you saw me, because acting isn't acting, it's being.
Mm-hmm.
So when you saw me, I was Felicia. And I did her background, like I broke it down. I was working with a really famous acting coach from New York studio. I mean, I put in her psychological background, her sexual background. Did she like blunts or did she like paper? I put everything. Deep, because that's the craft. That's when you're cooking. That's the fun part of acting.
Yeah.
And I figured, and I was 29 when I did it. So I was getting to that point where, I wanted to start a family, and I knew what kind of mom I was going to be, and I knew what kind of kid I was going to have. Like my son right now, he's still the all-time leading passer at the U.
Yeah.
Brad Kai. He's still after,
Wow.
he's got a master's degree from USC. He was labeled gifted in first grade. I didn't mean to stay away so long. I never want to say I sacrificed for him, but he was just so much fun.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he did everything me and his dad asked. And we co-parented. We broke up when he was 6, but we didn't mess around with him. We planned him. Our motto was we're gonna love him more than we dislike each other. And we got to a point we did not like each other.
It happens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We've been there.
Yeah, both of us have been there.
Yeah,
I'm
we
sure.
understand.
But we had this synergy. If one parent said, "No, we're not doing that," hey, okay.
Okay,
Dad,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Dad said we're not doing it, or I'm sorry, Mom said we're not doing that. It was like, no, he can't do that, because we didn't use him as a pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people ask me, "Where you been? Where you been?" I'm really parenting. I'm going deep with this.
Yeah.
He had summer bridge work from kindergarten to 4th grade. He's just, if you ever meet him, you'll probably run because he's doing amazing things right now. He's doing some really, I'm not at liberty to talk about it, but it'll be announced. But that's been my best gig. I don't even know what we're talking about. I started talking about my son.
Yeah.
She said
She going in.
She said if you
What?
beat him, you might want to run. Now I want to rub off on him. Rub
exactly.
him a few things and see if I can some of that rub off on me.
It's obviously you're a very proud mom, and
very
we love
passionate
that.
about your son. That's great.
Let's get back into the movie.
Okay.
That's the reason why.
I was 5 months pregnant at the premiere.
Really?
So Cube, when I saw Cube called him he's the Friday baby. So he's the
Friday baby, I
exact
love
same
that.
age as the movie.
What was it like the first day on the set for you?
What Friday did was, Friday's lightning in a bottle. It captured what was really, really happening. Because around the country, when you turn on the TV, South Central was this violent, scary place.
Yes, it was.
So
Riots.
now, violence and death and
everything.
thugs,
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So what Cube and Pooh did, they basically put South Central on their back and gave you a day in the life of what was really happening in South Central. We are together. We are a funny, kind. We teach our children lessons. We argue, we fight, but we're real people, just like across the highway.
Yeah.
So the first day on the set was like, and they used all the Def Jam comics. It was basically Def Jam the movie. So we were all like cousins. We all got our jobs at the same time. Everybody got their job, but Chris was the last one to get booked.
Yeah.
We had all had our jobs, and I remember Chris left his first audition. He called me. He's like, "Ange, I need your coach." And I was like, you don't need no coach. They don't want you coached up. They want you. Don't be going in there like no actor. I was like, "Get over here." So I put on a pot of spaghetti. And when that spaghetti was gone, he was smoky. We just worked it and worked. It's like, think, just think. It's like, what's the next time? What's the next? Don't you ever?
So
never,
you guys
never,
were
ever,
going
ever.
through lines
Yeah, we
while
went through
eating
his-
spaghetti.
Well, the pot of spaghetti was there. You hungry, baby? I'm mom. It's like, come on in and eat.
So
Let's
you were
run
taking
these
care of your
lines.
boy,
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
That's what I do. I'm good. How Kelly Rowland say, I'm good to people and I'm good for people.
How's that
And-
relationship with him now?
Oh, I haven't talked to him since we left the set, but I was good to him.
Not since you left the set. That's
No,
30 years now.
Oh, you know
That's-
what? I saw
That's a
him
long
at,
time.
Yeah, that's a long time now.
I saw him at Spoon's funeral.
Oh, okay.
And it was a good reunion.
John Witherspoon.
Yeah.
John Witherspoon. I heard Angie, and I was like, so I tried to take his phone dropped, and I picked it up. I was like, everybody number in the world in here. I started running. He was like, girl, you don't bring my phone.
He knew.
He knew. Fire your phone right quick. Because that would have been one of the lines had it been now. She'd been asking about phones.
Yeah.
Gotta get your earbuds. No, you nasty ass. You can't get my earbuds.
So I can kind of imagine this next question I wanted to ask you. How was the energy on the set? But I can kind of imagine already that it was just off the chain.
Listen, it was professional. Gary, it was a professional set.
Yeah,
Like it was
yeah.
the real deal. We were making something, and I think I knew because my son's father He's one of the greatest writers ever. And when he read the script, he was like, yeah, this is good. This is good. Let's do this. And I knew it. I mean, it had everything, you know? But we were young kids. We were all hot. We was going from city to city, telling jokes to drunk people. You know, it was the middle of our, like, it was amazing. That's all I can say. It was just one of the most amazing moments in time.
Is there a scene in the movie for you that was most memorable, most difficult to shoot?
Well, the most memorable one was, you know, the famous one sitting on, the three of us sitting on the porch. And
we on that porch.
we're
And you gonna sit exactly like you did in the movie. But we'll get to that
We're
in
on
a
that
minute.
porch 30 years later.
This is
On your first day
crazy.
back.
This is crazy. I'm sitting on this porch 30 years later. So I wasn't supposed to sit on the porch. You know, everybody came and they stood like right here and they talked down. And I was following Gary. I just kept my eyes on him just for, you know, just so I could keep up with my director and know what his needs were. And he just kept saying, come on, we got to move because I got to get a reverse. And I was like, nah, Gary. I'm going to go sit on the porch. And he was like, oh, snap, for real? Yes, you just saved me a day. So I was like, can I get the money for it? And he was like, bye, Felicia. So when I came up, I sat down and my butt, I aimed for Craig's arm. And if you see him, he does like that. And it kind of made my thongs
You pulled it up?
kind of do something in my,
Do something a little,
to my booty crack.
Yeah, when you had to adjust a little bit.
Yeah, when you see me sit down, I kind of, get trying to get comfortable. I'm trying to get my thong out of my booty crack. so, honey, I ain't wore thongs since that was 30 years ago.
But you can just kind of sit here like you did.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day.
Come
where
and
you
show us.
Yeah, where you just kind of took that
I'm
seat.
not that agile. No, but you know what? You was closer, and
we
you're
We were closer.
wait.
Well, we
Come on, we gonna
make it work for you.
You gonna work? You gonna sit there for us?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I'm going to start crying. Like, okay, I know it.
Now see, 30 years ago, yeah. This is the shot right here. This is the shot right here.
Take it in. Take it in.
This is the shot right here.
Take it in.
Oh
You
my
got
God!
this.
Oh dear God!
Ain't this
I'm
something?
sorry. This is like it's so surreal.
Well, you got. I mean, I think we all have to
God, I can't
understand
believe I'm
30
sitting
years
here with
later.
you. I'm sitting here with Byron Scott. What? You.
Oh, this is beautiful.
I know who you is. Oh God, I'm so sorry, but this is like.
Take it in.
Does it seem like it's 30 years? I mean, because this. I mean, if anybody remember this picture,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
the picture was off the chain.
The
It was
picture,
beautiful.
the whole thing, like the three of us had such good, like it was just good, and the editors were really good too. And I wanted to play Felicia straight. Like I played Felicia straight. I didn't want to. First of all, Felicia's not a crackhead. She was not a crackhead. Felicia was what you call a hood rat.
Okay, there is a difference.
Yeah.
Okay,
There is a
there is
big difference.
There's a big difference.
Yeah, there's a difference.
If you in Detroit, I was gonna say
Yeah.
Strawberry, but them strawberries is crackheads. They a little bit of everything.
I got them to help you back down,
yes,
baby.
dear. Thank you.
I got you.
Oh, a legend
I love
and a
that.
gentleman. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
My mama would smack me
Okay.
if I didn't
Yeah.
do that. If I wouldn't help, my mama told me a long time ago, open doors, close doors,
Yeah.
help women up, let them in the door first. So
look people in the eye
that's
when
right.
you shake their
That's
hand.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave all that to my son.
There
I
you
hope
go.
you meeting that boy is.
There you go. But no, don't stop right now. Go back to Felicia was not a crackhead. She was a hood rat.
She
and kind
was
of
a-
explain that, yeah.
She was a hood rat. So hood rats come from a real place. Mm-hmm. You know,
Real experiences.
real experiences. So you can imagine when I did this bio, I put in a lot of things that had happened to Felicia. You know, she was neglected. She was swimming in the sea by herself, and she was doing the best that she could. She had no social cues. She had no nurturing or teachings to So I didn't want to play her I didn't want to make fun of her. I just did not want to make fun of this character. So I played her straight.
Yeah.
Like she's a real person, you know? And the lines were the star. Can I borrow your VCR? What else do I have to say? I ain't gotta be like, yo, let me get that VCR.
Like, borrow your VCR.
Can
Most
I
people
borrow
are,
your VCR? Can I borrow your microwave? But what I did put on it was right quick. Can I get that microwave right quick?
Yeah.
Can I borrow your VCR right quick?
Yeah.
You know, that's how they do. Right quick? Can I get it right quick?
Yeah.
Like,
Who says that?
most people want about sugar.
Right. That's
Ketchup.
what I'm thinking.
You
Most
want
people come
borrow
over, they
my
want to
car?
buy sugar, some cream.
Right.
Can I borrow your microwave right quick?
Right. So I just wanted to play her straight. You know, every great comedy has a straight man. You know, he couldn't have said that if I had we would have just been sitting up here, it would have been chaotic. But the scene was so smooth. It was real.
yeah.
It
And you
just
guys did it
flowed.
in one take.
One take, one take. And Cube's brilliant. I just looked at him. Craig, bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia.
He didn't even make eye contact with you. He was just like this.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Right? Because they were used to me. They were used to me, microwave, anything. I'd be, hey, I need your garden hoe. Can I get I'm going to go over here and help Miss. I done asked Miss Parker for her garden hose 25 times last year. You know what I'm saying? They knew me.
Right.
So, but when I got up, Gary yelled, cut. And then Cube was like, dang, get your pants out your ass. And when I was right there when he said it, I didn't even skip a beat. I just pulled it out, and the whole set fell out. And Gary's like, shit, we got to turn these cameras around and get that. So he got my approach, and he didn't have to spend the whole day getting the whole scene. He just got my approach, and when I pulled my underwear out my butt.
So they got that scene, but were there any scenes in the film that you wish they didn't delete?
Oh, God. Byron, it was so much stuff. Chris Tucker was so on fire.
That boy, fool.
Yeah.
When I say he was on fire, like you don't even understand what I'm saying. He was so on fire that everyone would just be like waiting for Gary to yell cut. And it was like we were at a comedy club and the whole set just bust out started laughing. Every single time he did a take,
Wow.
It was that funny.
Wow.
So, playing against him, I had to play it straight.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing you could do with it. He was so on fire. Now, I think it's because he just said, F it, I'm just going to do whatever, because he didn't think it was going to go anywhere.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, who going to go see an Ice Cube movie? And so they just let it rip. Him and Faison both. They just let it rip, And, I mean, he acted a straight, and we were just so entertained that I don't even know, it was so much stuff that Gary captured. And then I couldn't cuss because Gary came up, he said, we ran out of motherfuckers. Chris used up all the motherfuckers the other day. We at the end of motherfuckers, so.
That's classic.
Because I wanted you motherfuckers. He was like, no.
Can't
We
use
out
no
of
more.
motherfuckers.
Oh,
When
my
did you
God.
realize Friday was more than a movie? It was a movement.
I was in the grocery store. Like I said, I was 5 months pregnant at the premiere. And I was in the grocery store with my newborn baby. And I got a little bombarded. And I almost started throwing hands because y'all
Really?
all over my baby's carriage. And, I was like, wait. Oh, my God, it really is you. It's like, what are you doing in the grocery store? Shopping for
That was here
tomatoes.
locally?
Right.
You know what? I was out of town
Okay.
the first time it happened. And then it hit me. Like, I mean, this was like, I had done the House Party sequel, and I had done Def Jam, which was a big deal. But I had never seen anything like the Friday Fans. Never.
Wow.
To this day, I've never seen anything like the Friday Fans. So I was, it scared me. I'm just a country girl. I'm from the country. I'm from dirt roads.
Yeah.
I grew up on a farm, planting cucumbers, tomatoes. We grew field corn and soybean for Henry Ford. And that's, I wanted to get in, I wanted to get out. And it really wasn't about the fame for me. It was just making people laugh. exercising one of my talents, doing what I do, and moving on to something else. So when it hit, I remember my son's father was like, Angie, you gotta engage people. It's like, they scaring me. Like, people just come out of nowhere yelling. It's like, wait, woohoo! Oh, it was me. You're talking about me. Okay. No, don't be scaring me like that. Look, here come Deebo.
Yeah. Here come Deebo.
So Angela, let's go back 30 years ago. Did you ever imagine that it would be this type of phenomenon 30 years later? And are you still referred to when you go certain places as Felicia?
Hell yeah.
And how does that make you feel? I mean,
I told my son, don't put that on my tombstone.
Felicia. Bye, Felicia.
Don't put that on my tombstone. You put that on my tombstone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back and get you. Don't put, because that's what when I do pass, that's what's gonna be on Variety. Bye, Felicia. The actress who played the iconic role of Felicia has died. That's gonna be on TMZ. Bye, Felicia. I swear to God. Let's not.
No, we ain't gonna see that for a long time.
That's gonna be a while.
But what's amazing is that it has standed the test of time. And I don't think that there's any character in cinematic history whose name has been spoken as much as Felicia in pop culture. Think about, beam me up, Scotty.
You're right.
But I think that she is something very, very special. I found out that Felicia was trending in the exact same conversation as when I found out my son had his first offer to the University of Miami. One of my friends called me. The first thing out of his mouth was congratulations, and I knew it was an offer because we were waiting on them to come. Because he had just won a state title. He was a media darling and scholar, and I just said who, and he was like Miami. I swear to God, I must have broke something from just dancing, celebrating. I got on. It felt like I had booked the same celebration I had when I booked House Party 3. I had that celebration, but then I came back to phone. I was like, not Ohio, right?
That's right. There's the Miami
right?
of Ohio.
He was like, no,
Yeah.
not respected Ben Roethlisberger.
Right.
But he was like, no.
See, that's my team too. So I'm a Steeler fan. Okay. So Ben being in Pittsburgh for his whole career, it makes me happy. But I understand what you were saying.
Was there any scenes from the movie that got cut that you wish wouldn't have got cut?
I think the microwave scene got cut from the theatrical release, but it was put in the director's cut when it went to box, when it went to VHS. One of the young girls, she's like 17 years old. She goes, yeah, that machine thing you were asking about. I was like, you mean a VCR?
Yeah, right,
she was
right,
like,
right.
yeah, that thing.
They don't have a clue what that is.
No clue.
But I didn't know that Felicia was so big. So in this conversation, we wrap up, and he says, "Bye, Felicia," and I was like, "Oh, you ancient?" And he was like, "Ancient, Angie, it's trending." And I was like, "What's that?" He was like, "No, it's ancient." He go, "Do you have Twitter?" I was like, "No." He goes, "Get on Twitter." He said, "I'm gonna stay on the phone." I set up the account. He said, "Put in the hashtag, the pound sign."
Yeah.
I didn't even know what the hashtag meant. Put that in. And just put in "Bye, Felicia."
Tripped you
Blown
out,
away,
It
huh?
scared me. I started looking out the window. I was like, okay, what's getting ready to happen? It was like it's probably been hashtag 100 million times.
I mean, when you saw that, did that trip you out too?
Man, the thing was too, I couldn't make any money off of it at its height because Brad was a college student, and the compliance was like, you can't do nothing. He was a quarterback as a freshman, so they were like, it's already all eyes are on us because of you. You have to chill. You can't sell nothing. You can't do nothing. The only thing that you can do is what we know you for. You can go do a movie, but you can't sell nothing, Miss Means. So all I could do was be like, okay, I'll take a picture. What do you want me to say? Bye, Felicia? It wasn't my line, but okay, bye, Felicia.
Shoot, think about the day though. She'd be making
my
bank.
gosh.
She'd be making bank.
Yeah.
What year was that? Do you remember?
Or was it 2012?
Because I think
2011,
people were
2012.
saying "Bye, Felicia" after the movie released.
I don't think it was as big. Like, it was not as big. The film was big.
Right.
The
Yeah.
film was everything, but I don't think Felicia got really popular until maybe 10, 15 years later. Yeah. And I think it was the queens that brought it back, and the drag queens brought that
You know
back.
what? I think you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, but now it's like when people, it's all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in Germany and someone was like, "Oh, Ma, he ain't Felicia."
All right, what the hell did that mean?
I don't even know. I just heard Felicia. Wie geht's, Felicia? I was in Italy. I was in.
That's a long way to say bye,
Yeah.
Felicia. Right? I love that though. Felicia.
It's global. You know, fame is currency.
Yeah.
If you know, I was able to monetize it after he. So I was blessed. You know, part of being a good mother is picking somebody great to parent with, and I did, and I was able to stay at home with Bradley. His father was very, very generous to us, took care of everything. We didn't, you know, that was a staple. So he got through school, and he went to Miami, so I had to crisscross the country every week. I was, you know, when I was like, "You sure you don't want to go to UCLA?" All I gotta do is gas
That's
money,
a long
Yeah.
flight.
man.
Every week. too.
Every week.
Every week.
For
And
years.
So you didn't miss a game.
I didn't miss nothing.
Good for you.
But I didn't have no jewelry afterwards. Pawn shop had everything. I was like, hey, but I don't care. You know, I shouldn't have said that, but I'll make him feel bad. But I did what I had to do.
Your ex-husband?
Bradley.
No, Bradley.
Oh,
I mean, by the time
Yeah,
when he got to
yeah.
college, he started numbering my my support checks. It was like 1 of 4, the last 2 of 4. Okay, bye, Felicia. So I was pretty much, you know, I was on my own, which is a good thing because you don't know how valuable your water is until you carry your own bucket.
Ooh.
You don't know. You know, I had it good. Bradley's upbringing, I had it really good. Bradley had it good. Bradley was privileged, and I was a privileged mom, you know? I didn't work. I did a few things here and there, but I didn't really understand the value of, you know, prior to him, you know, I was on my own, but I was hopping. I was crisscrossing the country. I was modeling, I'm global, I was working. But now I'm 50 years old. I haven't been I haven't done any stand-up. I haven't done anything in 20 years. I'm like, what am I gonna do?
Are you doing something right now?
So I was like I said, I was the consummate team mom, team manager, ways and means, snack shack coordinator. I was even the field commissioner. I was all over that bad boy. I mean, I was energy, farm girl. We got up with the sun, went down with the sun. I can work. So I knew I was gonna be okay. I just had to direct it and figure it out. So when Bradley got drafted, he took his side. I'm going to start crying. He took his signing bonus and opened up my restaurant. Yeah.
You raised him right.
Yeah.
boy, I tell
Yeah.
you.
And he always told me, he said, "I got you, Mama. I got you. Just like, you know
Yeah.
you know exactly.
Yeah.
You him, you know. So because I had I think we were the only youth club that had lamb chops at the snack shack.
That's great.
I never seen lamb chop at the snack shack.
That is
Snoop's
great.
teams,
Lamb chop.
Lamb
Not pork
chops.
Yeah.
Lamb chops.
We had Hawaiian burgers with grilled pineapples, grilled jalapeno, grilled onions. And I remember Snoop came up, and because Mac 10 was part of the Calabasas, we had everybody's kid. We had Diddy's kid. We had everybody's kid. And Snoop brought his team up to play us at Calabasas. I remember this little girl. She said, "This is the best snack shack I ever been to."
She was giving you props.
She gave me my flowers. So I just kept saying all the way through it. I mean, I was a teen mom for 17 years. And I remember I'd have my hands full. I remember making a burger, coming, taking pictures. I was a teen photographer. I was just everywhere. I just remember feeling with the universe. I know you got me when this is done. I know you got me.
We
So
gon-
it was just seamless to go into food industry.
Yeah.
We're gonna get back to the movie. So, are there any behind the scene moments that the fans don't know about that you have the inside track? You haven't been here in 30 years, so you got to get a lot off your chest.
So
Yeah,
when,
y'all have any fights and all that backstage? Somebody
I
had to
was-
say something to somebody.
I was only here 2 days.
Oh, you were, but you were in a lot of scenes.
No, I was not. She just a big. She just.
Her
I'm
personality
telling
was
you,
big then in the scenes that she did.
I'm a good actor. I made you think
Yes,
that
you
know
are.
she was part of everything. She was a real person. So you think that she was part of this whole thing, but she was only in the director's cut. They put that third scene in, but when it premiered, she was only in 2 scenes. Well, and then the end scene, and then you saw her
the fight
fall off
scene.
the bed, the
Yeah.
fight scene. But I was only here for 2 days. I came, did my thing. I was coming back. I remember, was that the porch where Red got, man, you got knocked the fuck out. It was
Right
right
there.
there. So when they filmed that, me and AJ Johnson was sitting on the porch. And
Wow.
yeah, we were just chilling. So you didn't really see the porch. And I remember Ronaldo Ray, who played my father in House Party 3, he came as a coach. He was coaching the actor who initially had the role. And they was like, well, damn, they fired the actor and hired Ronaldo, right? So
Wow.
it was just family. All these comics. That's what I'm saying. It was just lightning in a bottle. All these comics. I mean, we was literally just hanging out, watching the magic of Ronaldo Ray. Because he was like, he was for us back then.
With so many comedics on the set, like, who was cracking the most jokes?
Listen, this was Chris Tucker's set.
Yeah.
Don't get
This
it
is like
twisted.
his breakout film right there, huh?
This was AJ Johnson. AJ Johnson was a nut. Like he could go. AJ Johnson could go. I mean, all that stuff, my neck and my back, that was him. Smoking back here taking a shit.
Yeah.
All of that. And half the film was riffed. I mean, we had a script. The story was set. But
ad-lib.
yeah, that I remember when Faison, we was somewhere eating somewhere, and Faison was like, "What you think about this? Listen, this is what I'm gonna say. This is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say you fucking with my emotions. What you think about that?" I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
a fat ice cream truck dude with emotions." Okay,
Hair and curlers, or he just had it curled up or something.
yeah.
He had the rollers in.
He had the rollers in there.
Rollers, you go ahead with your emotions.
Angela, I got a question for you. Deebo, Tiny Lister.
My man.
That's your
Your
man.
man.
That's my
man in Friday.
That's my baby daddy.
Deebo was such a great dude. I got a chance to know Deebo and get to
Right.
know him on a personal level.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But give us a little glimpse of a moment that you and Deebo had. And I guess I want to ask the question because the reason him and Ice Cube got into the big fight was because you had a black eye, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So was Deebo
Then he
not
pushed
only
his-
taking
pushed-
everybody's chain, but was he abusive as well?
He pushed her sister, too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, he was a bully, but I understood him.
Okay.
This is the hood rat coming out right now.
I understood
That's my
him.
man. I understood him. He
And
knocked
it-
the shit out of me, but I understood him. It was my fault.
understood him. And it was true. She loved that man, and she was just waiting for him to get through that phase. It was a phase for
The
her.
phase of beating your ass.
That was a phase of, he was just getting through it. It was
Okay,
just a
all right.
phase. He was,
Okay, it was a phase.
didn't nobody know Deebo like I knew Deebo. I knew Deebo. I knew where Deebo came from. I knew where his pain came from, his insecurity. That's all. A bully has been bullied. And he was
real
the big
talk.
goofy kid. Can you imagine? He was to get beat up by little boys in elementary school. Yeah, this big ass kid. Come home crying. JJ beat me up. JJ 5'2". What you? Get your. So he had his pain. He had his pain, and I understood it, and I loved him, and that was just the cost of love.
Yeah,
And that's how those. So hood rats
Relationship, yeah,
think.
yeah.
That's the price of love. That's the price of being with this man. But Tiny Lister was one of the, first of all, he was complex. Most of us who perform on the world stage are. But Tiny was very, very complex. One time you'll see him and he was thumping the Bible, and then the next time you saw him, he was like, fuck that bitch. I don't fuck with her. It's like, but that's God's child. Yes, you're right. But I still don't fuck with her. So he was very generous to me. He was always generous to me. When we were laying there in the bed, there's some scenes. I saw some stills of us laughing, and I don't even know what we were talking about. But he never made it uncomfortable. He was always a gentleman to me. He always made sure I was okay. Like we didn't. You never saw us romantic. You wouldn't even know we was together but we'd be at craft services and let my girl get through. My girl trying to eat. Yeah. I remember that. I was like, that's my man. My man said I'm supposed to eat first.
How was it working with Nia Long? I mean, because she was the
love Nia.
Pretty girl on set.
Well, Nia's a consummate professional. She was a pretty girl on set.
Can you give her my number?
Is she on Instagram? You better slide in
Drop it in the
DM.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Hey, Nia, love Nia.
Listen, being in LA, I've never shed I'm a country girl. I've never shed that. People around me have changed. I'm still that girl that grew up on dirt roads. I mean, one of my companies is Rawsonville Roads. Mm-hmm. Rawsonville was the worst dirt road in the country. That's the road I grew up on. So I never, I didn't have imposter syndrome, but I remember when I saw Kathleen Bradley for the first time, I was just like, it's really her. So Nia Long playing I was just like, when they told, I was like,
yeah. You got giddy.
Yes. I'm like, that's
sweet.
That's Nia Long. And I remember me, her, and there was somebody in the front seat. And I was in the back in her BMW. She had a black BMW. That's what she was driving when we was, and we had went somewhere and I was in the back. And she was giving me my flowers, my stand-up.
That's love.
Yeah, she gave me my flowers, and she was like, I wish I could do that. And so I was just like, you can do it. And remember her eyes, I was sitting in the back, and her eyes looked at me through the rearview mirror, and my heart just sunk because she's probably one of the prettiest people. And this really beautiful, she was already iconic person, absorbing what I'm saying and taking. That's one of those moments I'll always remember, like her just absorbing what I was saying and geeking her up. And she just looked, and then she went, okay, watch the road, bitch.
Right. Watch the road, bitch.
Wow.
Angela, you still crazy.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah.
So, Angela, I want to get your take on some of these one-liners. You give me some of the most iconic one-liners that was on Friday. 30 years ago. Give them to me.
See how many you can do.
Work.
Make it work. Let's see how many you get.
My neck, my back, that's like one of the famous ones. By Felicia, obviously. My grandmama gave me that chain.
Oh, yeah, that chain.
My grandmama gave me that chain.
It's my chain now.
In my chain, punk. High boys, obviously.
High boys.
Don't you ever, never come back over here.
Ever.
Don't you ever come back over here. What's up, man? Mess with my emotions. I guess one of mine was, y'all stingy. Oh shoot, I'm in the hot seat. And you know what is so funny? When you asked Kathleen, they was all in my head. They was like, now I'm sitting here on the hot seat. You want some of this, old man?
There it is.
What do you say? Nope. Get your ass in the car. Let's go.
Turned around real quick.
Yes. And that's when he got the role. He was trying to, you can't teach timing.
No,
you cannot teach timing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Did I say my grandmama gave me that chain?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay, I already said that one. I don't know. I only saw the movie once. And my
Golly.
son,
You've only watched the movie one time?
look, it's only so much an ego can take. Shit. They already called me Felicia. I ain't got to look at it.
We got the 30-year anniversary screening.
Have fun.
Here's another one. I'm gonna get you
Take
high
a-
today.
I'm gonna get you high. Oh, I know one. Puff puff pass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Puff puff pass.
Fuck that got to do with me?
Yeah.
What they got to do with me? Yeah, you already said. Playing with my money is like playing with my
My
emotions.
emotions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know. I think
Boy, I think you got a lot of them.
Yeah.
I did.
You got a lot.
The other one I would say is, I feel 5 pounds lighter.
Yeah. What was the
Don't
line
go to bed.
about
Okay, bye-bye.
the sugar and two things don't go together?
how come when I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen?
Yeah.
We
John
got the
Witherspoon.
ham, you ain't got burger.
Yeah.
The Kool-Aid, you ain't got the sugar.
You got the cereal, you ain't got the milk.
Right. Put some water on it.
Oh my God.
All right, Angela, we gonna get you out of here on
Okay.
rapid fire.
Okay.
We got five questions. Give us your quick answers.
Okay.
I'll let Byron kick it off.
All right, number 1. Who broke character and laughed the most on the set?
Everybody. I told you Chris Tucker was on fire. Everybody. Probably Cube. Cube is a comedy connoisseur. Really? He's a comedy connoisseur. I remember the first thing he said to me when I saw him, because I was like, oh, it's Cube. He's like, tell me a joke. I'm like, tell me a rap. Fuck alone.
I like that comeback.
I'm a hood rat.
Tell me a joke.
shoot.
Tell me a rap. Okay, I like that.
That's a rhyme, nigga.
Yeah. See, that's a comedian
That's
right
a
there.
comedian.
That's a
boy.
comedian
They
right
quick on their
there.
feet, boy. They quick on their feet. All right, Jay, you got number 2.
All right. Who do you wish had more scenes in the movie?
Ain't that funny? Because Kathleen said
Yeah,
the
same damn thing.
Just one, great minds think alike.
Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, we are actors.
If you could redo one scene today, same role, same lines, which one would you pick?
Same role, same line. Probably this one, and I probably would have I probably would have said something a little bit more ignorant. Like that's why Shirley said, something stupid, stupid dick joke or something. I don't know. Like we gonna go straight to your emotions. How to mess with their emotions. I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't change anything.
Okay.
Nothing. We're here. We're sitting on this porch right now.
Talking about it 30
talking
years
about
later.
reminiscing because of what it was.
Yeah. It's
I
a
wouldn't
great
change
point.
anything.
That is a great point.
Yeah.
What would your character be doing now, 30
Okay.
years later?
Very good question.
Yeah.
So, Deebo kept her pregnant 10 years straight. And they birthed an entire defensive line. And all of their names start with D. You got D-Ray, D-Michael, Deshaun. And Felicia is balling now. All she had to do was get him to high school because it was somebody gonna break her off a little bit to come to college, right? And it was agents all over her. Deebo was 6'7", she's 6 feet. They, and he.
Defensive lineman, okay.
Yeah, and by the time they got 12, they was whooping Deebo's ass. So I didn't have to worry about Deebo no more. Miss Parker was helping me with the babies. So, so Felicia is balling.
Yeah.
8 kids. By the time they get to college, the first one made $1 million. They paid him $1 million, probably more than $1 million. Then the second one coming right in. She in one of these houses, but the inside looked like a palace. She didn't want to leave the house. She didn't want to leave the hood. Now she got a $6 million house in a.
On the inside.
I don't know what the value is of these houses, but she'd have raised the comps for the whole damn neighborhood. She got every one of them done bought her a car, so she got a Tesla, she got a rose-colored Rolls Royce, but that one stay in the garage. She got a Range. That's Felicia's house. Yeah. And when they come to borrow money from him, she goes, I told you I was gonna remember that.
business.
You want to start your little
God.
business.
Oh my God, you crazy.
You should
All
have
right,
had some babies with Deebo.
I got
knew
one
what I
last
was
question for
doing.
you. One last question before we get out of here. The movie itself and your role, did you pick up any additional roles from this movie or?
I got offered some bullshit. I was like, I can't. I'm a mother. I can't. No. It was a lot of people, independent people were coming. It's like, well, if we get you attached, we can get the money. You ain't getting the money. I'm not doing that. You know, it's like you go from doing that. Stop playing with me.
Seeing me doing that.
It's like my Def Jam is hard enough. I'm telling people I'm gonna come out in the audience and cut them. I don't know if you've ever seen my Def Jam, but
Yeah,
you
early
know,
on.
right. So
Don't let this light skin fool
don't
you.
let this light skin fool you.
So Angela's had an unbelievable career. 30 years later, now we come back to this. You're sitting on the porch 30 years after this iconic film. What's next for you?
So, my son was so proud of me and my restaurant career. I had it here in Los Angeles for 7 years. I was on all kind of best of lists. I mean, I'm a cooker, so it was vegan soul food. So I wrapped that up after he got his master's degree from USC, and then I brainwashed it.
That's my baby.
That's my baby. So when he finished his school career, and then he got a big honor, one of his scripts went on the blacklist. It's where studio heads and producers create a list of the unproduced scripts, and he made it. It's a big deal. So that's when I was like, you know what? I can leave California for a while. So I'm in Texas. I'm up where the Panhandle is. I found a great property. It's got 3 structures on it. The front house is ready, and we Airbnb it. And I get people from all over the country. Yeah, from all over the world. And it is part of my upbringing. I'm in the hospitality industry. And I absolutely love it. I mean, I love the house. I loved decorating it, and I'm decorating the back house now, and then there's another structure, and then we're gonna do the landscaping. So when I'm finished with that, I'll most likely be back in California. But it was just something that I wanted to do. I wanted to create a community. I wanted to create a home because, financially speaking, Airbnb, their value has raised by 17% every year. And a business, 17% is huge.
Pretty damn good.
It's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get into that business. I wanted to get into that market. And the property that I have, I sent it to a realtor here, and she was like, if this was LA, we probably start at 2.3.
Yeah.
And I got it for a fraction of that.
Yeah.
But I still get the same income.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I have to be there. So I've been there for about 1.5 years now, and it'll probably take me another, year, maybe 15 months to get it where I really want it, and then I'll find the right person to be the groundskeeper.
manage it,
To manage it. Yeah.
Are you still making money from the movie?
Yeah.
Like a lot?
I be opening, because it's like when you get residual checks, life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what's going to be in that bad boy. It could be a quarter. It could be a dime. And Living Colors are a dime. My wife and kids are a quarter. But you open it up first and you like, come on, be Friday. Come on, Friday. Come on, Friday. And I remember Kathleen called me. She was like, have you got your Netflix check yet? Your Netflix. I was like, and all my mail went to a box. I was like, let me go to the box and get my Netflix check. That Netflix check. I remember my first round. The first round just blew my mind. And I called my agent. I thought it was a mistake. She was like, that's your residuals. I got paid $750 a day for 2 days.
Wow.
That's what I made.
That's crazy.
I made $1,500. But since then, like I said, fame, if you know how to monetize it, appearances, like people complain about bad deals who are super famous. The fame is the currency.
Right.
Yeah.
The studio, they gonna make their money. They didn't promote you for you to make money. they want you to be famous because the more famous you are, the more money they make.
Yeah.
But also, the more famous you are, the more money you can make. But
Yeah.
you just have to be creative. You can't, you got to carry your water bucket.
Yeah.
You have to do it.
All right, before you leave, come back over here and sit down.
I'm
Come back over here and
You
sit down.
trying to make me cry.
Yeah, come back over here.
Come on.
We want you to sit right here. And before we wrap this show, this is the 30th anniversary of the iconic Friday
What you
movie.
smoking on, Smokey?
In front of Craig's house.
I'm
They
Smokey.
Smokey, I'm Craig.
You supposed to be
But
over
but
here.
I want Angela, I want you to look in that camera right there
Yes.
and say your famous line, which is by.
No, that's not my line.
Well, I know, but
No, your famous line
Yeah.
is, "Can I get
Yeah.
that damn microwave or
Yeah.
My famous
VCR?"
line is, can I borrow your car right quick?
yeah.
Just right quick. I need to go pick up a check.
No, bye, Felicia. Get going. Bye, Felicia. You see how?
You see how she took
you
the
see how
draw-
she
see how she
pulled,
took
she
the
pulled her
drawers
drawers
out? Yeah,
out
pulled the
as
drawers
she
out
walked
right
away.
Sit back down there. I'm sitting back over here. And we're going to close the show
Yeah,
off.
we're
Guys,
gonna go ahead, Byron.
this has been an unbelievable
Yeah.
day.
Oh, man.
We got our girl Angela
Yes,
here. We
love.
had our girl Kathleen here. And this is 30 years ago, the iconic film, Friday. And you're watching it here on Byron Scott's Fast Break. And we appreciate you guys all being here. Kid J, you want to finish it out, baby? You want to just say
Lots
peace?
of love out there. Thank you to everybody who made this possible. Like, there's a lot of people who, I might as well give a shout out to a few different people here. Kathleen's back.
Where's Kathleen?
Yeah.
There she
Yeah.
is. There she is.
So,
Give her a shout out. But yeah, we gotta keep these beautiful ladies up here for a
Yes,
second.
Victus, they made the bats. Bump Box, obviously.
Yes,
Trey,
sir.
the
Yes, sir.
Truth.
Yes, sir.
True Classic OGs. Am I missing anybody, Brian? Shop GLD.
The brother that made the food
Yeah.
you came by.
Yeah,
Did you
the
already shout him
wings.
out?
The wings.
Yeah.
they had no
the
bigger wings.
the Stogies. Byron Stogies.
Yeah, appreciate you. Appreciate you. Love
Lots
y'all.
of love.
The pre-roll.
Yeah.
The pre-roll,
Oh, look,
yeah,
look
yeah.
at her.
We didn't use that
Yeah.
today, but we have it on set though.
And everybody who made this possible, Brian, our producer, Mateo,
Yeah,
engineer,
yeah, all our
Joseph
guys,
as
Joseph,
well.
yeps.
Everybody else out here. I don't know everybody's name, but lots of love to everybody out there. And the police out here, you know,
Yes, sir. Thank you
protecting
guys.
us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We appreciate you guys.
Our
Lots of
brother
love.
Thank you,
that
guys.
owns the house right here. We appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Thank you so
People
much
at the
again for
house.
allowing us to use it.
Craig Friday.
And man, again, this is Byron
Hey.
Scott's Fast Break. We really appreciate you guys.
Appreciate
love you.
everybody.
Love you.
Lots
Check
of
out
love.
the next episode.
Yes. Thank you for watching Byron Scott's Fast Break. If you like what you saw, here's some more videos. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.